Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. We're back with Elden Ring and my first playthrough of the game, playing as an astrologer, and to what is going to be a slightly different episode, let's just say, because this is a voiceover. I managed to record this entire episode. Well, okay, apart from the very final bits of the video, I recorded all of this without actually recording the mic. Well, okay, fine, I did, but it was like at 5% volume or something, so you couldn't really hear anything. So, yes indeed, this is going to be a voiceover. It's going to be a bit tricky to do this properly, but I'll try to make it my best. So, last time, one of the big things we did, of course, was to go to the round table hold. I thought that it could have been a little bit of a trick by the game, but it wasn't. It was actually a pretty damn good place to go. We had a smithy, we had other people to talk to. I bought an incantation, which I'm right now trying to show you, but I don't know how to show it to you. I bought an incantation to throw a fireball, and hopefully, possibly, I'll make use of it in the future. I do need to get my faith up, however, so trying to make use of some of my runes is, of course, going to be a sort of important bit of a thing to do. Now, in Stormveil Castle, we went sort of in this general direction, went to the right, so to speak, of where we are. So, as I didn't really find too much else there, I thought to myself, you know what, it's time to go the other way around. And of course, the first bird is almost getting to be a bit of a problem, but isn't, so we're making progress over there. Also, checking the map a little bit, one thing that I'm commenting on here is that the map is pretty damn small in many ways. And yeah, the castle takes up a big piece of the map, like 25% at least. So I'm a little bit, not worried, but wondering, where the hell am I actually supposed to go then? Because, you know, there's possibly a lot of map to go, if you would. But, yeah. Other than that, it is basically just standard progress, killing some hawks, as I believe they are, and making progress into the building. I'm thinking that, you know what, we don't have to bother the two guys down there, because we can just drop down in the middle here. There are also other areas that I can see, and whenever you see a torch like that, you can sort of tell that, yeah, that is someplace where you probably should go. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful here, because, you know, I talked about this, I believe, in the last episode, which is that I do want to try and stress a little bit less, which I definitely try to do in this episode. And when I drop down here, what do I find? Well, a bit of a shrine sort of a thing. And at first I'm a little bit confused, because I thought it was connected to the outside, and it wasn't, but then it was, because he just went through the other door. So, yes indeed, a bit of a shrine or temple or sort of a thing. There is some possibly holy symbol at the front, and there is a person, a friendly person.
Nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine. Roger is the name. A sorcerer, as you might have guessed. I'm looking for a little something here in the castle. When I'm not hot-footing it from the troops, that is. But enough about me. What are you doing here in Stormveil Castle? This place is bristling with tarnished hunters, you know. They sacrifice our kind for grafting. Not exactly a place I'd stroll into without a purpose in mind.
And I'm getting a little bit happy here, because he said sorcerers. Maybe he can sell me a cool sorcery stuff. I've been looking for a sorcerer for, well, since the beginning of the game, basically. I'm still stuck with the first two spells I have.
Here to challenge Godrick and lay your hands upon a great rune, are you? You can see it then, I take it. The guidance of grace. Well, enjoy it while you can. I'm tarnished, like you. But unlike you, I've seen neither hide nor hair of this guidance for the longest time. Still, I won't forget how it felt when I first came here, to the lands between. I'm privy to a few magical battle arts. Would you care to learn one? As a fellow tarnished, once guided by grace, I'd love to help you out, if it please.
And absolutely I would. And it's underwhelming, because apparently what he sells is Ash of War, and I think I did know this before, but if I didn't, I know now what Ashes of War are. They are basically the special abilities that every single weapon has. So for example, the sword that I have has a kick ability, which is what I currently can use if I do the left trigger action, where I have my glintstone staff. So I can change that for something else. And this is, I mean, these specific ones could be interesting. He does have glintstone pebble. I don't know exactly how that would work. I might get that at some point. I don't on this occasion, but at least I know where this guy is. He is easy enough to get to. Might check that out, possibly. But yes, right here and now, I was a little bit underwhelmed. So we simply leave him be. He can be there all he wants. Yes, indeed, we are apparently after Godrick the Grafted. I didn't actually know that he was the one.
Keen to learn another battle art, are we?
I just go back to check if he says anything else before I leave. So there we go. Nothing too much about him, other than just keep going. Also, of course, have to try stairs, but on this occasion this is not one of those that we can actually go up, so screw that. And out in the open, a little bit careful, but only regular people here, nothing too difficult at all. It doesn't even seem to have a weapon, as a matter of fact. But I don't really find much in here. It's actually basically just a little bit of a loop around, so I have to keep on going. Which means I do have to take care of these bastards over here. But it does come a little bit close. It does actually deal some damage. I think I fluffed my timings a bit there. And then I try desperately to use my potion for some reason. Not successfully. But in the end I am successful. And, you know, at least avoid dying, which is very nice. So... getting my health back up, and it's basically back the same way as I was before, which is slightly annoying because it definitely felt like I used up all of the various bits and pieces where I could go. So yeah, I'm at this point a little bit confused exactly where I'm supposed to be going. So yeah, just running around a bit. Obviously there's nothing here other than that place. So it is back outside, and while I of course could just keep on going back to the same place, I decide to go up again. And you know, it's always good to have a high vantage point. It's easier to get your bearings if you do. So that is sort of why I'm going back. And I'm definitely eyeing the courtyard here. I'm thinking that that ought to be the next step, and there is indeed a passageway or a door at the bottom there, which is very close to where I have been before. So I do make that a target for now, because surely you ought to be able to go there, right? And I'm also not entirely sure what I'm looking for here. Gotta be honest, not entirely sure what I'm looking. Oh, right, because I sort of saw the gates there straight forward, which seems to be open. So I'm thinking, are those the gates that I was at before? But no, they're not the same gates. So question is, could you come this way? Possibly. It is not unlikely that you could come this way. But for now, I'm just sort of again looking around. Is there anywhere else I actually can go? Because none of this seems traversable in the slightest. So yeah, in the end I'm just sort of stuck with the choice of going back to the hole in the door over here, or over there maybe I should say. So back down the ladder and back into that area. And one thing that I do want to comment on, which I can comment on now, is the guy that we just talked to. He said that he as well was tarnished. So at this point I'm wondering, like, did I miss something in the intro? Because I thought that it was only the big guys mentioned and me who were tarnished. But apparently tarnished is just a thing that people are, like many people. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure that I understand what actually is going on, but I'm sure it will all be cleared out eventually. So yeah, it is back here and killing the same enemies as I had before, and I'm also very much contemplating how the hell to get over to the other side. Because there's a purple pickup, and purple pickups are usually good. There's also a chest, so would very much like to get there in the end. I have already located a door that possibly leads to that, which is locked. You can see that we do want to get to the other side of this as well. There's really no way to, you know, jump or anything. So it is still a bit of a mystery exactly how you get in there. But we have another enemy to kill. So on this occasion we managed to, and whether I managed to actually dodge him, which is very, very low. 2 times, in fact, would you know, and even get to go for some melee in the end. But he sadly gets a hit on me, which is... I mean, it's not great, is it? Because now I don't have any cerulean flasks. No, wait, crimson flasks. Never mind. Cerulean are the blue ones. I'm trying to learn what the hell they're called. So crimson flasks are for healing health, and cerulean flasks are for healing focus points. So at this point I'm basically just trying to scout out the place, and yes indeed I do see the door over there that I have checked before, and now everyone is waking up. I have to make sure that I kill enemies instead of exploring for the while. But I do try to take this one. I mean, I do have to start using melee at least a little bit when it comes to regular enemies, because focus points is what I do the most damage with. So sort of using up all the focus points on smaller insignificant enemies is quite bad. But yes indeed, we have this door. It is still locked, and the problem is it says that it doesn't open from this side, and I'm curious to say, how do you get to the other side? Because that's the point. I want to get to the other side, and I really cannot see any way to get there. So the question is, am I missing something here? I might have to go back to this in the end and just keep looking. So a couple of basic people, or lads, have shown up as well, and nothing too much. So again, we're down here. We have been here before, just making sure that I haven't missed anything, because you know what, you can always miss things. Still, the big guy is gone. That is good to know. Again, that there are a couple of enemies that actually do stay dead, even if they aren't actually bosses. But yeah, I'm still contemplating, how the hell do I get up there, really? Because if the door that I was looking at before is locked from that side, and when it says locked from that side, it's not just locked, it's, you know, barred, basically. You can't even go there from that side, so I would assume that even if I get a key, I won't be able to go there. That is at least how I how I interpret it, so to speak. So this thing will remain a mystery for me for at least a little while. So with that, I basically say, you know what, screw it, let's just move on. And what you know, I found the place to get out to the courtyard. Fancy that. That is the door. That is the door that I was looking at from atop. And of course there is another one of these places. A door into a very dark area, and I'm looking for a torch, which I still don't have a torch. I don't know why I don't have a torch, and I bail out, basically. Don't want to go in there. It's very, very dark. It's very, very scary, but there is a guy up there, some sort of, you know, considering what my options are, and of course trying to walk up to an actual torch, but you can't take torches. That's not how this game works. So also considering, also, I don't know exactly why I went into this place. Maybe crafting. Yeah, I was wondering if I could craft a torch, maybe, but no, I don't have any torch crafting abilities, and I'm a bit confused as to why I can make the pot again, because I don't remember how I got a cracked pot, and it is still a... Well, actually, after this episode, it's not necessarily unclear, but I know for a fact that I can't craft them. So, we're making it to the courtyard. Everything is looking absolutely fine. Until I realized that there are people with crossbows, because of course there are. So, bit of a tricky situation, and I'm shot, and remember, I don't have any flasks anymore to heal up, which is slightly problematic, and these are placed fairly well. They do have their protection, which works surprisingly well, let's just say. So well that I miss a lot of my attacks, which is, yes, a little bit annoying. And even though the person with the horn sounded the horn, they are not coming for me, which I was a little bit afraid they might do, like they did before in the not the episode before this one, but the bad episode, where I had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them trying to go for me. We don't have any of that on this occasion. They are still maintaining their position outside. They also have some weird weapons, and of course, yeah, I get hit again. They have weird weapons, which they used to kill each other with. It's a bit strange. It's a bit strange. They are, I don't know exactly why they are attacking each other, but they are. So they have some sort of a flamethrower thingamajig. It a bit interesting. Not entirely useful against me, because of course I have range. I'm trying very hard to not get hit, but I do get hit anyway. And I'm also missing many of my shots, which is just not very good, is it at all? No. So I'm trying to just chill out a little bit and decide to, you know what, screw it. My health is really low, I can't recover any health anyway, so let's just go in here. If I die, I die, it's a-okay. But it was actually quite safe indeed. So we get to kill this guy, and sadly, no flasks back. I'm at this point wondering a little bit about that whole rule, if you would, when you kill the final enemy in a group of enemies, you should be getting some of your flasks back. Question is, how large is this group of enemies? Because I killed so many people, and you know, there aren't any more of that kind of an enemy right here, so who else do I need to kill to get flasks back? I am not entirely sure at this point. But outside it has largely cooled down a little bit. I say that now. No, it didn't really. But this guy is, of course, standing quite badly positioned. And for the most part, everyone else has manned one of these fire thingamajigs, and they don't move from them. They basically just stand there, waiting for me to just come right out and attack them, which is possibly something they could work a little bit on, because wouldn't it be better if they notice that they can't do anything to me? Why don't they just abandon it and go for me, instead of just standing there and taking it? I mean, I'm happy to do it. I'm absolutely chuffed to just take care of them from afar, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, wouldn't it be reasonable for them to not do what they're doing? You see, this guy is just standing there. It's not even considering me whatsoever. There are, however, at least one more guy just out and about, not equipping one of the flamethrower things. But in the end, yeah, since they did that, I am free. But I also noticed that, yes, indeed, there is at least one more with a crossbow. So that's less good. And at this point, yes, I don't have any flasks. I am flaskless. And I really don't want to die at this point. So trying to be as safe as possible, rolling away in case there's any more people with crossbows. And there doesn't seem to be, so I am a-okay to just start picking up everything that exists on this little battlefield. A lot of the people did drop things, so happy about that. And here's another guy just standing. Does care when I start wailing on him, that's true, but he could have done that before I even got close to him, but he didn't, so I'm happy about that. And of course I could go down and kill all those people down there, because possibly it is the fact that when I kill them I might get some flasks, but I also think that I was like four or five guys down there, I think. with the situation that I have right now with both health and focus points, it's not a good idea. So I abandoned that. I do, of course, know that there is one guy left up there who is most likely going to be a problem no matter what. I also do recognize or see the big guy over there. Yes, he's probably going to be a problem if I go close to him, so let's not do that. But this guy is on his way down, so I'm going to have to kill him in melee, because, well, okay, fine, I can get one shot off with my glintstone staff, but then what? And he's ranged with the fire thingamajig, and that is a bit dangerous. But he also throws grenades, which is actually kind of good, but I'm a little bit too overconfident there when I go in, and then I try to attack and he's backing away. So I'm trying to sort of coax him to throw more grenades, because if he throws grenades, he's quite easy to just ignore. Instead, I'm really terrible at dodging, but luckily he only gets one hit and doesn't actually kill me, so now I mean, it's all but screwed over, isn't it? I have no FP, I think, possibly. I don't think I have enough for even one attack, and even the slightest bit of fall damage would kill me right now. So it's not looking terribly hot, and I really do think that I should be getting a grace soon, because if you look at the map, which I possibly do, I don't know, we'll see if I look at the map. But yeah, it should be a grace coming soon, is what I'm thinking. But I need to get past this guy without him aggroing, because I don't really want to have to run away from him. So yeah, I'm up here and thinking that, hey, you know what? Should be a grace at some point, right? So with a bit of attempted jumps, I try to get around him, and it seems to be very possible. So we're up here now. I see a bird, so don't go that way. Terrible way to go, but immediately I do see it. Inside that little doorway, there is indeed a lost grace. So I'm safe, basically. That is very good to see. But before we go there, of course, pick up the little pickup, whatever it is, over here. Let's just take that. Lovely. I think, oh, my window now when I'm re-recording this, I think it was a smithing stone, if I don't remember incorrectly. So there we go, we have a lost grace, perfect. Let's have a bit of a sit down, get all of our flasks back and health, etc, etc. So right now I am looking at the Ashes of War that I sort of, at this point, figured out again what they were. And indeed, I had picked up the storm, what's it called? I can see from here. Storm something. Yeah, storm quake or something like that, whatever. Big old attack, but it's not what I want. I want parry. I want to be able to parry attacks with my sword. So this is where I can also show you the incantation that I picked up, the fireball, but the little red cross obviously indicates that I cannot use it. I don't have the faith for it. So we'll leave that be. I have at least shown you. I'm getting my faith up. I need to get to 12 in order to use the incantation, so we are... you know, a little bit away still, but that's absolutely fine. So with that, it's time to scope out this new area. We have a lift, and on this occasion the lever actually does work. So getting a lift, obviously not from below, that's a drop into nothingness. So we have a lift, and of course before we go up there we check out the place. We need to know what we're dealing with. We have another door, again, cannot be open from this side. Still probably want to get to the other side at some point, but for now that is a no-go. So don't want to go and say hello to the bird. Let's just go up instead. Again, starting from the top is always better than starting from the bottom, because you can work your way down and have, as I said before, a nice vantage point. So now we are a little bit higher up, new place, making sure there's nothing hiding behind a corner. And we also do hear a tingle of one of the scarabs, and well, there's really nowhere else to go but towards that scarab. So let's just do that again, being very careful not to be ambushed by anything. I've been ambushed one too many times already by wolves and other things, and this is now the first time that I make acquaintance with the alive pots, basically. I try to use the arc, of course, but I have learned now, as you can see, and there is actually a big one as well. When you don't have anyone targeted, the arc is really difficult to use. So that is something that I have learned. And again, we see a bout of very, very nice game design where this guy can't make it through the gateway, or the archway, so to speak, so we can just quite safely get it down. I'm thinking, hey, save some FP. Go in and deal melee damage to him. So I'm trying to sort of judge his attacks, because obviously he does do some things. So there I get a bit of an attack, not much. He does a bit of a motion there to deal some damage, but I was able to avoid it. I go in, whack, 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 and he's dead. But of course there's tiny things coming, so we need to kill those. There we go. Nothing too bad right there. So coming, but obviously there's more. They are dead. And while I'm picking up some nice stuff from them, I'm thinking that, you know what, let's just kill them in a melee. That must be good, right? So yeah. Another one goes down, I think, but no, because I don't have him targeted, and I die. From the small one, not the large one, so good job. Just because I didn't have the target, he apparently cannot hit at all with the sword. A little bit weird, but, you know, whatever. So, it is back. We at least can try that again, but cut out from this video is the situation where I was going to go back up, and instead of taking the elevator, what do? Well, I just jump down into the hole. For some reason I thought that the elevator would still be there. I don't know why I didn't pay closer attention, but I didn't, so yeah, I just jumped down into the hole, and of course all of my runes were gone. And in fact, the rune location, so to speak, where to get them back, I couldn't see where they were. They were not where I fell down. They were not above where I fell down. They were really nowhere. So this is, by the way, where we find cracked pots. So I don't know if you can manufacture them at all, but yeah, I do find a spot for cracked pots, which is good. So now I can make more fire pots to explode my enemies. And also I do find the scarab. And while I don't necessarily think it's important to kill them, on this occasion it actually is, because I get another Ash of War. So, you know what, good job. Do kill them, even though you don't need flasks right away. Do kill them, because you get stuff from them that might be useful otherwise. So, just a bit of a corpse, getting me some kukri, which I thought was a melee weapon, but I realized pretty fast that no, of course they're not melee weapons, they're throwing knives. Of course, they are actually quite cool throwing knives. They are throwing knives that inflict bleed. So possible, sometime, some place I might be using them. Wouldn't you know? Not in this video, but you know, sometime. So with that done, it is back down and onwards. Nothing really to see here, but I do see one of these things. Let's just activate it, because why not? And yep, there is really nothing else, but I do see another grace very, very early on, which is quite nice. And of course, when I look through or behind this corner, I see a mist. And it's not just any mist, it's a mist that I can traverse. So I do figure that, you know what, same thing as before, this is most likely a boss. Yes, it is possibly time for a boss fight, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, would it? So let's get back health, etc, etc. Let's just make sure that that goes in, and I just check the Ash of War a little bit. Sort of a similar sounding-ish, but presumably doing different things. But again, no, not parry, and I want parry. And there are also one of these big guys together with a whole bunch of smaller guys. So I think to myself that, you know what, let's not bother. They can be there. I'm okay with that. Not a problem. Let's go have a bit of a look at what's behind the mist.
mighty dragon. Thou art a true-born heir. Lend me thy strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. Well... a lowly tarnished. Playing as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the lord of all that is golden.
I don't think I will kneel, no thank you very much. So this is indeed Godrick the Grafted. He has many body parts. So many body parts. And he presumably wants me to become, you know, a body part of him as well. So of course this is the first attempt where I try to learn his moves, and it doesn't go well, does it? No, I've already died. So back into it. Let's give it at least a couple more tries before I have to go over to my montage of deaths, because I really didn't get anything done there at all. So he's all about doing stuff like that, and I don't know why I didn't dodge that one. I have learned something, by the way. Which is that sometimes I need to press the dodge roll button several times for it to actually register. Several times I've clicked the button and nothing happens. So I've sort of vaguely tried to go over to double clicking when I dodge roll. It doesn't matter, it's not like you do 2 rolls, you only do the 1 roll. So I try now to indeed get a grip on the boss. He does this thing quite a lot. It's not terribly difficult to get away of, but he does the roll. So one thing that I definitely learn during my attempts is that number 1, don't stand too far away from him, because if you're too far away, you obviously don't do any damage. And on this occasion, I fail completely to dodge again. Good job, I am basically dead. I don't have any healing flasks anymore. But yeah, don't stand too far away. That's one thing to learn. And there we go. Yeah, I dodged way too early. So let's have another attempt, shall we? This will indeed be... No, actually, we will do two more attempts before montage time. So here we go. So yeah, one thing, as I said, don't be too far away, but also when he starts rolling, don't just go in attack again. Missing the timing there completely, which is a little bit embarrassing almost. But yeah, when he's, as you can see, I'm just spamming the Glintstone Pebble button, and the negative side effect of that is that I miss a lot of them. And this guy has, let's just say, a lot more health than the previous boss, so I definitely need all the FP I can get. And here I'm just basically running back to get the meager amount of moves I do have saved in case I do manage to kill him. So I'm trying here to dodge again, but timings are not my friend here in the early stages of trying to kill this boss. Do manage to dodge that one, however, so that's good. And that's the thing again, yeah, he does this quite a lot throughout the entire fight. So I do get a lot of opportunities to practice it, because obviously right now I'm completely useless. I'm also testing the button to cast my Pebble Zone way too much before actually getting some focus points back. But I definitely am using these first attempts here to just practice the moves, etc, etc. And it is going to be very important for this fight, as I learn throughout all of the attempts that I actually do in the end. So here we go. We have gotten him down a little bit. It's not too bad, but I'm not doing a whole lot of damage. Yeah, I really want some other spell now that does a little bit more damage. It might be that I can boost the damage on this, but I'm not entirely sure how that works. And on that occasion I'm a little bit annoyed because that actually went sort of through the ground, which I really don't like. So let's have one final attempt before it is time for me to do a montage. Maybe I can do a little bit better on this occasion. I haven't been doing it terribly well, have I? So yeah, let's just try this. We'll see how it begins. It begins not good. Not good at all. Second attack of the fight, and he gets me. It is not optimal whatsoever. So, but anyway, it's a-okay. We can probably still do it. No, we cannot, because he just got me again. And then he does a big attack, which is actually not even a triple attack. It's a quintuple attack, and he gets me. So let's do our little montage here of all the times that I died to this boss. Damn it! Crap! Oh, that was kind of close. Bloody hell! No, not at all. Again, pretty damn close. Ah, that damn ability. No! Balls. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, so close. Also pretty damn close. And, of course, more fire. Ah, bloody hell. Well, here we go. Last attempt, that is to say, the attempt I finally get him down. At this point, I do believe that I have his number. I know all of his abilities, I know how to dodge a roll, I know the timings, I know not to spam the button. And you might have been a bit observant, possibly, I don't know. At this point, I've actually changed my loadout of flasks, not to what I had before, which was half and half, but I've actually got an all cerulean, which means that I'm basically forced to clear the boss without taking more than 2 hits. I have to dodge him completely, basically. Well, okay, yeah, as I said, I can take 1 hit. That's absolutely fine. I don't think at this point he has any abilities that kills me outright, which is good. But yeah, as I said, I have learned, stay close, don't go too far away, and when he starts rolling, time attacks at the end of the roll. And about this time, he does a little bit of a thing. He cuts off his hand, and he takes the head of the dragon to the left there, as you can see, and he basically grafts, I believe it's called then, the dragon head to his arm, and now he has firepower, which, you know, if you combine fire with wind, that's a hefty combination. And indeed, he has a ability where he just starts shooting flames, which is one of the attacks that I died from. As you can see, these attacks now are fire attacks. Lovely. They don't do more damage, I don't think, but, you know, they look cooler. So he has a couple of fire attacks, but there is one where he just starts spewing flames and follows you around. It's pretty damn difficult to get away from, unless you have the space for it. So one of the deaths that I had there, that was me not having the space to get away. It was not good. But on this occasion, I am a little bit lucky with the abilities that it uses. As long as it does this one, you're pretty good, actually. You're pretty good. I mean, it's not terribly difficult to avoid. And also it does this a lot, which is also fairly easy to avoid. So right here, right now, I'm feeling super confident, and he actually goes down, which I don't exactly know if he's supposed to, but he does, which means I can just wait on him the last of them. So there we go, Godrick the Grafted is dead.
That is golden, and one day we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
And here we go, we now have a great rune. Yes, sadly, this the preview window in my in my program makes it actually impossible to read. I'll have to read it back for you, I believe, in the next episode if I can. Maybe I can. Basically, great runes are what you get from these more important enemies. We also get some other stuff that is indeed important. You'll see that later. And we also get 20,000 runes. Not bad, not bad at all. And of course, we get a Lost Grace, so we go and just have a sit, I believe, in just a second. Come on, sit down past me. But yes, indeed, we are gonna... Actually, do I... No, go ahead. Go do it. I don't know what I'm talking about here. There we go. Lost Grace has been discovered, yes. So let's just get everything back. For some reason I don't change my flasks. I will have to think about that before the next episode, by the way. I do get my faith up to 12, which is just lovely, which means that I now will be able to use my fireball. I'm also getting my dexterity up a little bit. So that means that I can go back and I can now memorize different spells. I don't want the arc, so let's get rid of that and let's equip the fireball. Lovely. And that is going to be interesting to test out. I think that I can test it out on the guy over there, but of course that's not an enemy. That's the gatekeeper guy, so I can't test it on him, but presumably I should just be able to throw it anyway, right? No, I cannot. I am unable to throw incantations, and while I don't exactly know why, it is possible that it is equipment specific. You see, I use a glintstone staff in order to throw my spells. So it is very, very likely that you need a specific weapons for incantations, which means that incantations are completely wasted on me. I mean, there could be a situation where I trade out a melee weapon for something that allows me to use incantations, possibly. But I don't really know what you use to use incantations. So, yeah, I'll have to be on the lookout for that.
Excuse for a lord you were. Craven to the bone. Pushing me about like that. And after all that grafting, where did that get you? Look down on me, would ya? Godrick, you filthy slug. Feel it. Feel it. Feel my bloody wrath.
Well, it's easy to talk when he's already dead by my hands, you nutcase.
Oh, hello there. This weasel was... Godrick was always looking down on me. He got what he bloody deserved thanks to you. I tell you though, what goes around comes around. He had an ugly heart, an uglier countenance, and met the ugliest of ends, eh?
Well, you are a little bit loopy, but apparently I can now purchase things from you. Sort of fairly basic things, but there are a couple of possibly interesting things. I don't know if they are interesting, because this game does not have a compare screen for equipment and weapons, etc, etc, so I have no idea whether or not these things are good. Those are fists, could be interesting, but again, I don't know if they're good or not in comparison to my sword. So yeah, I have no idea, and I don't really want to spend runes on something when I don't know how good they are. So yeah, there are some bandit equipments, however, which might be interesting. They do have not terrible FP on them, so again, could be interesting, but again, no idea, because I can't compare them to what it is that I already have. And I do actually miss talking to him again. I think I decided, since I got into a purchase window, that was it. Possibility he actually does say something else, so might have to go back and check on him. Yes. So at this point I'm just looking around, picking up the 0 rooms that exist here, just to make sure that it goes away from the compass. But yeah, I'm just looking around, making sure that there isn't anything here, but for the most part it's just sheer cliffs to either side, so really nothing else I can do. The dragon is very much dead, can't really do much about that, so well, there is really not much else left here to do, but just continue forward and into the building, sort of cathedral-looking building. And yeah, feels kind of good having killed my 3rd boss. Feels good. I do consider the fact that I'm using ranged. I'm using ranged attacks, and it works really well. I have no idea how to do that boss melee. I'm really glad I'm not doing melee. And I do find this little place, and yeah, we see the little round table symbol to the left there. We are in round table territory, and here I'm just actually testing, can we even do any attacks while we have the symbol, and the answer is no, we cannot even use attacks. So we have this this room, basically, yes indeed, it looks like a chapel sort of a place, where you would go to, indeed, light candles for your various deities, depending on your religion, which seems to be what has happened here. So, we have two ways to go, so I just basically choose the first one. Does indeed look quite abandoned, but also not, because, you know, there are torches everywhere, so obviously someone has lit torches here. So it isn't entirely abandoned, and when we get down here, there's the no around table symbol anymore. And yes, indeed, this is presumably where we're going, I think. So before I go down, because it might be a you can't come back from this place situation, let's go check the other place first, because well, I don't want to miss anything, obviously. So I'm keeping the weapons now. I took them away before just to almost RP a little bit. But coming down here reveals, well, nothing. Absolutely nothing. 0 things. And yeah, I'm a bit confused, gotta say, by that. But, you know, there we go. Checked it out at least, know that there is nothing there. So it is back we go, and onwards. And gotta say, a little bit confused about this place all over, because there's basically no one here. So I'm just running around, making sure there isn't anything. Again, trying to look for secret places, which I know exist in other games they've done, but I still haven't found anything. Of course, I haven't tested like every single wall, but you know, I've tested a few of them, and none of them have gained me anything. So it is time for me to probably get down, yes, and I do find a ladder. I thought that there wasn't a way to get back up, but of course there is. So there we go, getting down, and we find something interesting, a vaguely spooky thing looking thingamajig. And on this occasion we can actually choose what to do, either pick up something or talk to whatever it is. So let's talk. And I should have prepared this a little bit, because now I can't actually see what it says. But he's calling out for the maiden. So yes, the maiden that we found before is most likely whoever it is that he is now looking for. So it doesn't say anything else but that. So indeed, he wants to give this thing, which I now forgotten the name of. So obviously we have one mission, which is to get that back to the maiden. But sadly, well, I tried to find it here, but I realized that I should be going to the other menus in order to actually locate it. But I also realized that yes, indeed, I can probably use this thing. So let's do that. And what do I get? Well, another 20,000 runes. So 40,000 runes from one of those bosses, those slightly better bosses. Shard bearers, I believe they call them. So he was he one of the ones in the intro sequence? Because I am a little bit unsure whether or not he was one of the ones in the intro sequence or not. But apparently he was a very important. I think I saw a quick flash before we saw the Great Rune information box that said something like demigod killed or something. Anyway, when I get out here, by the way, this is where something weird happens. The controls totally mess up everything, and I have to reset the game and the controllers. So in just a second, past me is gonna pick this up, because that is when I realized that I haven't been recording with sound. And we're back. It finally works again. So, I actually didn't have to restart the game. I just had to unplug and plug back into the controller. Alright, free grace, and would that little thing be the thing that I actually need? By the way. We do know... Okay, so now we actually... Oh, so there are more of these hints, basically. Well, that's fascinating. Where do you hint in sort of... not like that. That. You hint in that direction. Okay, well... Hey, is more of the map gonna open up? Because that's a whole lot of stuff over there that I don't think is there just for show. No. Alrighty then. Well, let's make our way down here. Let's make our way down here. Because this definitely feels like what I saw in the little thumbnail, in the little guide there to what I should be doing with the thing I just got. Yeah, here we go. Church of Irith. Oh, so do I have Mimic's Veil? I mean, I don't know. Can I see the thing? Oh, actually, I have it here. Here we go. That's the Shabriri grape. Godrick's Great Rune. Godrick's Great Rune, devoid of any benediction. But wasn't I supposed to be able to see? Wasn't I supposed to see something about this? I have no idea, but we'll go here because there's a purple thing and a guy. Hello, guy. Before we pick up thing, hello, guy.
You're tarnished, aren't you? Then, perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge.
Oh, finally! Are you the glintstone sorcerer?
Well, bless you, bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Topes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries, as promised, only none of them are particularly great.
Well, they can't be worse than what I have. Finally. I really hope that you have something good, because I have the runes for you. Let's talk a bit more.
Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. Oh, right. I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit. You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Rea Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries. Only its doors have been closed for quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. A fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning.
Alright, so how do we get a glintstone key then?
Why not find yourself a glintstone key? Without one, you can't pass through the Academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery. But still, my place is at the Academy.
Ooh, so if you don't do glintstone magic, you do bluntstone magic. Poor guy. Of course we'll give you a glintstone key if I have a spare. We shall see. Now, what do you actually have? Well, that was underwhelming. Okay, what? I want stuff that does more damage. This is what I have. And a starlight to create illuminate my surroundings. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily bad. It's just wholly underwhelming, that's all. But you know what? I'll get it. Fine. You got 10 rooms of me. Now you get 2,500 rooms from me. Alright. Well, you were pointless, but we are going to a place with sorcery and stuff. And a sacred tear. I know what to do with sacred tears. I'm actually happy about that. That is going to help me quite a lot. Why don't I show you what we do with sacred tears? Let's go back up to the grace, and I think that I am actually going to put a cut in the episode. Yeah, the whole business with having to do a voice overlay for the first part because I'm an idiot. Yeah, it's already taken a bit of the fun out of me of this episode, but we did good anyway. So, rest at sight and flasks. I can increase the amount my flasks replenish with a sacred tear. So there we go. My flasks are now better. Very, very good. I'll actually hold off a little bit on the leveling up for now, and I'll save this for when I know a little bit more about what I actually need. Because right now I spent some rooms on Faith, which apparently possibly wasn't really that good. So I'll hold off on that for now. Also, you know, you don't want to hold off too much for it, because you know, if you die, you lose rooms. Even if you pick up your lost rooms, you don't pick up everything. I think you pick up like 75% possibly, or even 50. But it's not all of the ones that you lost. And if I'm sitting at 20,000 rooms, well, I want to use them, obviously. So yeah, there's a lot more to this. I don't know why I thought that this was the only map, but, you know, that's the thing. So I'm thinking next episode, we are going to start by going all the way back to... Where is she? Stormveil... Is she not there anymore? Where is she? Her icon is not there anymore. So if I go back there, maybe she will have gone somewhere else. We shall probably see in the next episode, because I will go there and check that out. For now though, this has been ghostmutgaming with me, Christopher. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.